that you stay for the duration of the film, to be followed by a panel discussion. You should have received index cards coming in, and I'll say more about that in a moment. But to welcome you to the university, we have Billy Davis, Director of Alumni Affairs.
Do this mic? Really? Okay, I guess I need to speak loud too. So as she mentioned, my name is Billy Davis, and I have the great pleasure and honor of serving as the Director of Alumni Affairs for my beloved Prairie View A&M University, the second oldest public institution of higher education in the state of Texas. On behalf of our president, Ms. Ruth J. Simmons, our faculty, staff, students, and our alumni family, we'd like to welcome you all to the HBO pre-screening of Say Her Name, The Life and Death of Sandra Bland. For those who are visitors in the audience, we want to welcome you as well to what place we call The Hill. Sandra Bland's story is one that has greatly impacted the conversation of justice for people of color in this country and many places around the world. My prayer is that the conversation continues so that reform can not only be seen but felt when those in the position of authority interact with our community on a daily basis. As a member of our alumni family, I am extremely proud of Sandra Bland's efforts to impact the lives of those she encountered. She, like many other alumni, leave this institution emboldened to improve the world around them. As you may have seen recently, our students continue today to embrace the fight for civil liberties and engaging in our political system for change. My hope is that this documentary impacts the lives of our students in a great way, along with our faculty as well as our alumni body. And one great thing that they can do is they continue to fight for social justice. So again, let me welcome you to Prairie View A&M University.
So once again, welcome to the college, and without further ado, my remarks will be brief. You have index cards, these are for questions. We'll be taking questions on the film after the presentation. We'll have a panel discussion, and without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, say her name.
Great job. This film is really important to me, actually, because like Sandra, I was born in Chicago and I was raised in Houston, right down the street. So for me in particular, it's really important for me to be here. The documentary, as you can see in the title, not only looks at what happened to Sandra when she came back here to Prairie View, but also at her life. And that's why we decided to fill the room with you all, people who have similar connections, whether her sorority sisters or from the criminal justice side, or more interested in the communications and filmmaking side of things, so that we're able to tell this story. This is a moment that we feel is really personal, and we're really excited to be sharing this with you. So thank you all very much. As you all heard, you guys have index cards, and so please do write down any questions you have, and we'll take those from you during the panel, so that when it comes time for Q&A from you all, we can have a discussion. We can have a conversation that also involves you all as well. So thank you all, and enjoy the screening.
A hashtag on the screen. Feel free to use the hashtag during the presentation. David Halbrunner. Thomas, Senior Communications Major. Instructor in Languages and Communication. Question for David. What is it about the Sandra Bland tragedy that made you decide, yourself and Kate, to do this project?
First of all, I spent my whole life doing civil rights films. I was a prosecutor in Manhattan for my first career 25 years ago, and I left because I was so frustrated about the inability to do justice within the system. and I wrote a book about it, and I spent my whole life sort of doing work that I hope kind of contributes to the national conversation. And when Sandy, her case was so mysterious and also so painfully resonant of, a hanging of a black woman in the deep South in Texas. I think the whole country was just totally riveted, and I was just among them. I was like, what happened to her? It didn't make any sense. And HBO called us up and said, do you guys think there's a movie there? And I was like, yeah, there's a movie, but this family's in the middle of grieving, and the whole world is watching them. They're never gonna, this white couple from New York is gonna break through the noise. I didn't think it was possible, but I called Canon Lambert, and after some effort, he got back to me and he said, I've seen your work, and let's meet. And I flew to meet the family, which is like one of the most awkward, painful meetings of my life. Walking in there, and they've just lost a daughter and a sister. They have no answers to anything. The media is hounding them. And, I'm interviewing them or they're interviewing me. It was really hard. So anyway, bottom line, they said yes, and that was 3 years ago. And we became very tight during what was a long and painful journey.
Wiring training for law enforcement and interaction with the public, and for high schoolers before they get their driver's license, learning about interactions with law enforcement. So we'll see. Texas is working out the details of what these training exercises will be. To hear some more reactions from the panel, Mr. Bowens.
Film. It actually opened my eyes because coming to Prairie View, I'm from Pflugerville, Texas. It's a very diverse city. It's 20 minutes away from Austin. And I say that this film really opened my eyes because I heard about the situation. I seen it on social media, but I didn't know all of the facts. And I'm not saying that the film provided all of the facts because there are facts still missing. But it did really open my eyes as a student and as well as a male, African-American male, on how to go about situations when getting pulled over or just having interaction with the law enforcement.
And my connection to the film is a really deep and authentic approach to embodying what this means for me. Like, I'm a young African American woman in this country, and it's like the thing that people always say: you never know, like, what it is, or you never understand that it could happen to you until it happens to you. We're at Prairie View. This happened here at Prairie View. So I'm connected to it deeply. First of all, because I'm here. Second of all, first of all, because I'm a black woman, and I know that it can happen to me at any moment. Second of all, it's because I'm here. And since I'm here, that means that I have the power in myself to take a stand against, injustice for all people, but especially for African Americans.
First of all, thank you all for coming to the screening today, and thank you, David, for sharing with us this amazing film and the research and the care that you've given this topic. This past summer, Marshalla directed 2 PSAs that Dr. Susan Kawasi, Fraser Kawasi, and myself produced with the Texas Department of Public Safety, which is a part of the training that you mentioned before, where the hope is to give resources to new and young drivers in Texas, hopefully a template, some guidance, and what we can do to, what we can do in the event of a traffic stop. The complicated part of that is it's not just the driver, right? So it's like, how much of this is us preaching to the choir, but we wanted to do our part to save ourselves in a sense, in a world that gladly arrests white men with guns and kill unarmed people of color for changing lanes without a signal. The irony of it, both Dr. Kawasi and myself, 2 days after we finished filming those, were both pulled over by police. I was pulled over here on campus, and Dr. Kawasi was pulled over by Hilliard. By the very people we filmed over the course of that time. And I remember sitting and following, my brain caught on fire when I saw the lights behind me, because in the videos, in both videos, we shot two where there were instructions on what to do during a daytime pullover and instructions on what to do during a nighttime pullover. My pullover, we had just wrapped, and so it was about 10, 11 o'clock at night, and I stopped at the stop sign and pulled on through where the football stadium is. And just as I pulled through the stop sign, the lights came on. And I was like, oh, really? Okay, well, okay, let me think about the video. And so I put my hands on the 10 and 2, and I waited for the cop to come up, and I recognized the cop as she was walking up. I recognized her as being one of the extras from the court scene where we shot. And she pulled up, and she went through the procedure, and I'm thinking, oh, this is very professional. She's going by the card and by the instructions. And then I realized she didn't recognize me as being someone I had just engaged with her not an hour prior. And she said, well, do you know Rob? You know her? I said, sorry, I have no idea. She said, well, you stopped on the line instead of behind. And I felt everything I learned in preparation for the video go out the window. All I felt was a sense of I was scared. I was confused. I stopped completely at the stop, and yet that wasn't enough. And yet it was still enough to, and with Dr. Kawasi, she stopped at the stop sign where she hadn't come to. She lived in California. Where she stopped, and she was like, I felt like I stopped. She said, oh, I kept going. And she pulled into the parking lot right there outside of Juvenile Justice. And the guy who was the cop during the nighttime shootings, he got on the thing and said, ma'am, stay in your car. And just kind of berated her from outside of her car. And it just shook her to her core. And she called me, and I came over and we talked for a while. And I think what even beyond laws, our sense of humanity that's missing of law enforcement. Because I didn't feel protected. I didn't feel at ease. And I've been at a term like my policies of respect. And I should so I think if we are looking at how we can move forward from this, we have to you were the judges gathering the story. Did you see any evidence of a shift in humanity or a shift in, I know the shift at the end was like, perhaps we should have things the fact that nobody ever brought up the fact that she checked yes, she checked suicide, but she had no business ever being. Even like if there was nothing that she still had no business being. Did you see any evidence? Did you see any evidence of a shift or growth in humanity?
How much it means to hear Prairie View, and it's one thing for having your film out of your campus, and I was having all these flashbacks coming up, driving up there and looking at the film. You know, and Sandy is looking down, incredibly moved at her voice. But I never felt that. Sheriff Smith, I agree, I think something happened where he shifted, and I talked to him, and said, role responsibility-wise, you know, I will always do good enough to be different. But I think overall there is a sense that in your jails and arrests are these sort of criminal justice mills. Unfortunately, the risk for these mills, young African Americans, people are used to see it and they just grind into the system. You're just next, and you're a number, you're not a human being. I've shown this on quite a number of public settings. I've shown it in particular two very large settings, one in Chicago, where Sandy was from, another major screening that had 500, 600 people. And I do a lot of Q&A with white and black people in the audience. And never the black people say, yeah, this is happening. So many, I've heard so many cases. I've never heard one white person say this. And I like
your fingerprints were not there. And if you want a documentary filmmaker to not impose themselves into the narrative of what they're capturing, and you just let the family flourish and tell their story. But it wasn't until the very end where one of the sisters played from Mars, and I was a part of Mars. And it wasn't so much because, oh my goodness, this is a partnership. One another, and I'm just pleased that that was my part of the feeling, my part of
I think that was really important. I also got to give a shout out to Sigma Gamma Rho. You guys are all around the country. We chose Nashville, Tennessee, and Sigma Gamma Rho. You guys are awesome, and thank you for support. Your support has been, I mean, you supported Sandy long before there was a movie. I mean, you guys were the one who got that message out there to begin with. And, you know, I think that it's that kind of solidarity that's going to make change. So, you know, yeah, please tweet about our film, but when the next injustice comes, keep hollering.
And say that this is quite a tragedy that happened right at our door to one of our very own. And I don't think Sandra had a clue that she would keep on speaking, that her videos would continue to live on. I saw the AME fire in her doing those videos. For those who are AME, you know what I'm talking about in terms of marching and standing up for injustice, against injustice. I thank those who had the courage to step out and make sure that we say her name and call attention to this issue, and we've seen other issues nationwide. Prairie View has a history of producing people who are courageous, who will stand up and speak against injustice. And students, I hope that you continue to pay attention and speak up. We've had students march against genocides and tweets and use social media, and I hope you continue to use the technology and have the courage, even when it's not popular, to speak up when you see things that are not right. I do have to say thanks to Carol Martin for her work in contacting HBO and bringing this documentary here, Courtney, Roshni, definitely Kate and David for making the film, for the President's Office and the team, Carol Campbell and John and Lisa, Miss Stephanie, Sam, all those persons. There are a lot of people who contributed to putting on this program today, and I want to say thank you. And as a closeout remark, I'll just say to our students especially, the aim was students, that you will continue to be courageous in speaking out against injustice. And I know the communications department has another program after, so we'll end on this note. Thank you again, David and Pam.